This presentation will provide an overview of the workflow and configurations required to establish an Amazon Redshift DBeaver connection. Completed in advance, an Amazon Redshift cluster has been provisioned using CloudFormation. The CSV data that will be used for this demonstration has been uploaded to an S3 bucket resource. I have installed DBeaver Community Edition 24.04 on AWS Workspace Windows Server. The Amazon Redshift driver has been downloaded and configured in DBeaver. From the Amazon Redshift console, I will preview the AWS Redshift cluster. As you can see, the cluster has been provisioned and the status is available. Download the DBeaver Amazon Redshift driver from the link below. This is the download page from Amazon to retrieve the driver. I will now start the DBeaver application in my AWS workspace, and I'll navigate to the DBeaver driver manager to configure the DBeaver Amazon Redshift driver. So what you'll need to do is in your menu, you need to go to Database, select Driver Manager. Under Driver Manager, one of the first options will be AWS, expand it, and you will select Redshift. Click Edit. Then you would navigate to the Libraries tab. Click Add File. Navigate to your Redshift driver. Select Open. And then select OK to save your driver configuration. Next, I'll navigate to the New Database Connection button to configure DBeaver Amazon Redshift connection. So what you would do is you will click New Database Connection, select Analytical, select Redshift, click Next. In this dialog box, you will set your host, database, username, and password information. Then you will run a test connection to make sure your configuration works. I will show you my current configuration. So if I click Edit Connection, as you can see, I have my host name set, database, username, and password. If I hit Test Connection, I have successfully connected to my Redshift cluster. And if I hit OK, that will save my configuration. I will create a new database schema in 3 tables. I will then use the Redshift copy command to copy S3 CSV data to the Redshift cluster database tables. So I will connect to my Redshift cluster. If I expand databases, I see my database. If I expand my database and expand schemas, I currently see 2 schemas that are available in my Redshift database. What I will do is I will open a SQL dialog box and I will execute this command, copy, paste, to create a new schema called players. If I do a refresh, I have created the player schema. I will open a new SQL dialog box and I will execute this statement here to create a new table called passing within my player schema. And if I do a refresh, open players, tables, I see my passing table. If I click view data, there's currently no data in my passing table. So my next step, I'm going to open a new SQL dialog box and I will execute this Redshift copy command. This copy command will copy CSV data hosted in S3 to my Redshift table called passing. If I go back to my S3 bucket, I have 3 CSV files hosted in my S3 bucket, one for passing, receiving, and rushing. When I executed that command, it loaded the passing data successfully, creating 91 records within the passing table. If I do a refresh, view data in the passing table, my data has been loaded into my passing table. I will pause this video and complete loading the next 2 tables. I have now completed creating all 3 database tables and loading them with CSV data from S3 using the Redshift copy command. So as you can see, I have my passing table loaded with data, receiving table, and rushing table. And I can go back to my Redshift cluster, access query editor, which is connected to my database. From the console, I can select the player schema. And as you can see, I have my 3 database tables that I've created in DBeaver. You can view them from the Redshift console in AWS. And I can even preview the data from that table. That concludes my demonstration. Currently on the screen, I have references to DBeaver and Redshift. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.